start with that 20 million rand fine slapped against Computicket. The Competition Tribunal has found that Computicket abused its dominance between 2005 and 2010. It's ordered the local ticketing giant to pay a penalty, as we said, of 20 million rand. Well, joining me for more on this is Competition Commission Commissioner Tembinkosi Bonakele. Mr. Bonakele, Commissioner, thanks indeed for talking to us. Computicket's clients are chiefly theatres, music promoters and event organisers, and I see the ruling today agreeing that Computicket required those clients not to deal with other competitors. Am I seeing that ruling essentially that's what it is?
Yes, that's correct. When you have an event and you outsource it to Computicket to sell your tickets, they would prevent you from using any other person from selling those tickets. And because they are dominant, the tribunal has found to be unlawful because they prevent other people from entering into markets or growing within markets.
So I want to just understand the consequence of this type of anti-competitive behavior. So I understand, as you said, one consequence would be preventing new entrants from getting into the market. That would essentially mean fewer jobs if there are fewer market players. Could it have also had an impact on higher ticket prices for ordinary consumers?
Well, yes, because the service fee that then Computicket charges is not subjected to competitive forces. In other words, they are able to dictate terms when it comes to price. So it's possible that an event organizer would then just make sure that it is the consumers who ultimately pay that price. So yes, although we didn't do the calculation, one would assume that a conduct like this would have an impact on ticket prices in the final analysis.
Commissioner, is a 20 million rand fine fair? I mean, do you think this is justice?
Well, I think the important thing here is that we all know how dominant Computicket is, and we had a series of complainants who have been trying to enter this market. So the priority for the Commission in this particular case was to break that monopoly. In other words, get Computicket to stop what he was doing. So that was the first prize, and we are delighted that we were able to get that. Then the second issue is what we are raising, which is a fine, which in this case for us was very much a secondary issue. We will look at the level of this fine. This is a fresh judgment. We just received it today. We are studying it, and I don't want to comment what we will do after we have analyzed its implications.
It's interesting you say that, because some of the reports now saying that Computicket would indeed appeal this ruling. It's arguing that customers actually prefer to use its services and that exclusive contracts were also a means to mitigate against reputational risk. What do you make of that?
Well, they ran that defense at the tribunal. The tribunal didn't believe it. We didn't believe it. We don't believe that the customers, event organizers, want to be subjected to one supplier. I think what is happening here is that event organizers don't have a choice. If you have a big event you are organizing, you have to go to Computicket. And if they don't allow you to use any other person, you won't. So I don't think that they like that, but that's the reality of the market situation right now, and that's what we are trying to break. We think that it is possible that you will gain more efficiencies with innovation coming up with smaller players, because it is a fact that monopolies tend to be inefficient. So I don't buy the argument that Computicket is inherently efficient. Yes, it's got a larger distribution network because it is big. But there is now a lot of innovation that people are coming up with to sell tickets, which you will never find in a monopoly market, and that's what is being prevented by Computicket.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Competition Commissioner Tembinkosi Bonakele, thanks very much.